Hi, it's Steve Etherington, team photographer for Mercedes-AMG Formula 1, inviting you to take a break with HPE and learn a little bit about the life of an F1 photographer. I've been asked to talk to you today to tell you a little bit about what I do, how I do it, maybe give you some pointers on photography, talk a little bit about technique and possibly set you a little challenge. So first of all, this is what I work with at a Grand Prix. 2 camera bodies, both a little battered, getting worn at the edges, however work perfectly okay. I think they're both on their second or third shutter mechanism, so that's like having 3 new engines in a car. So they get well used. I use 2, some photographers prefer to use 3. I carry all my equipment around with me most of the day, so I just stick with 2. I've got a range of lenses. This is a 16-35. I'll use this in the garage. I'll use it when we're out on track and I need a wide atmospheric picture. I've got a standard 50mm lens, again useful in the garage. This is a 24-105. I'll use it for people pictures, garage pictures, some stuff out on the track. 70-200. Quite a popular lens with most photographers. Again, action, garage stuff. And then the main lens for most of us, a long lens. I've gone for a 2-400. It suits me. A lot of people use 500s, a lot of people use 600s, 400s are becoming popular now with a converter. But you do need a long lens in our job to get somewhere close to the cars. Along with that, I've got a few accessories. 1.4 converter, a couple of flash guns, monopod, essential for supporting the long lens. I've got a close-up ring, extension tube, and some filters, ND filters mainly, and a polarizer for bringing the light level down. I use quite a few zoom lenses. Other photographers will just use prime lenses. It's just a personal preference. Also, one other vital piece of equipment, the F1 pass. This gets you into the circuit, through the swipe gates, through various gates to let you out onto trackside. The other thing that I carry around with me all the time is my brief from the team. I get supplied with a brief every race. I work to this. I work on other projects as well, so if I see a nice picture, I will take that. Most pictures get used in some form or other, social media, marketing, brochures, general media work, newspapers, magazines. So for a normal race, we'll arrive on the Wednesday. So Thursday is preview day, so there'll be press conferences and some other work involving the drivers or team members. Friday is FP1, FP2, free practice 1, free practice 2. Saturday, free practice 3, followed by qualifying, and then obviously the race on Sunday. So we're working for 4 days. It's important to know a little about what you're photographing. So in our case, we're photographing Formula 1 cars, so we know the structure of the day, we know where the drivers will be, when they get into the cars, and also which side of the car they get into, little details like that. And then when they're out on the track, we know the racing line, they should be on the racing line. So it helps when you're photographing them, you can pre-focus, you know where they're going to be. The same applies to your subjects. You need to pick a subject that you enjoy photographing. So if it's one of your pets, it's something that's familiar to you, you'll get a good reaction from the pet. If it's a member of your family, you'll be able to make them laugh, smile, joke around, and get some sort of life into your photographs. Try and plan your photography. Visualize what you want in the picture. Think about it before, so then you can actually move into that position, get that angle, get that expression. So you've got an idea of what you want before you even start. Shoot full frame. This means fill the frame, the picture, with your subject. This really goes back to when we used to shoot film before digital came in. We had to fill the frame every time to get the best possible quality out of it. But the same rules still apply now with digital. Fill the frame, you'll get the best possible quality, and the picture will be more dramatic. Watch your backgrounds. Have a look at what's in the background. Will it distract from whatever your subject is? Is there a bright colour that really glares in the picture? Try and avoid things like that. A nice simple background is always more effective. We're all looking at the subject rather than the background. Eyes. Eyes are very important in a photograph. If you're doing a portrait, obviously, the eyes have to be pin sharp. That is where you communicate with that person. So if you're looking at that picture, you can see their eyes perfectly sharp. The rest of the hair can be out of focus, the shoulders can be out of focus. As long as you've got the eyes in focus, your picture will be successful. So one topic that I've been asked to talk to you about today is how to get a good photograph of a fast-moving car. Well, there's two different ways of doing this. There's lots of different ways, but two main ways. One is if the car is coming straight towards you, fill the frame and shoot it on a fast shutter speed. 500th of a second, maybe 2/50th, but I'd go 500th or a bit more. That way you get a pin sharp, bold picture. If the car's going over a little curb or something like that, jumping a little bit, then great, it'll be sharp. The main thing is make it dramatic in some way and big in the frame and sharp. The other way to photograph a car is to use a technique called panning. Now, panning is simply just following the car in your frame. But in doing this, you shoot at a very slow shutter speed. So maybe go down, try at 60th, 30th, 15th, something like that. And what you do is you fill the frame with the car and move with it as it goes past you. So the idea is that the car is sharp, or as sharp as you can make it, but the background is streaked. So it's a still photograph, but it makes the car look as if it's moving. There's nothing worse than photographing a car and it looks as if it's parked on the circuit. It just doesn't work. So you've got to do this panning technique. It takes a bit of practice. You've just got to lock onto the car somehow with a point in your viewfinder. Hold that on the same part of the car and move forwards. So as the car comes into frame, you pan with it. It just takes a little bit of practice, but I'm sure you can get there. Explore the settings on your camera. Don't always shoot fully automatic. Have a look at shutter priority, so you control the shutter speed so that you know something will be sharp even if it's moving. Or aperture priority, where you can control the depth of field on the photograph. So again, you can throw out a background if it's got distracting items in it, make them blurry. You have control. You can go down to full manual control. Then you're controlling the camera and the camera isn't controlling you. Break the rules. So possibly ignore what I've said, but try different things. Explore different angles, different settings on the camera, slow shutter speeds, try a polarizing filter, something like that if you've got something like that. Explore all different possibilities. If you don't like it, you can delete it. But the way to improve your photography is to make a few mistakes. We've all made them, I'm still making them, it happens. So finally, I'm going to set you a little bit of a challenge. I want you to take 2 pictures of the same subject. So one picture where they're at peak of action, so if it's a family member, maybe throw a ball at them and as they catch the ball, that's your photograph. Maybe make it a bit difficult so they have to dive or something like that. But that picture I want taken with a high fast shutter speed, so everything is pin sharp and it's a dynamic picture. The other picture, same subject, is a slow shutter speed picture. So if it's your brother or sister running with a football, slow shutter speed, maybe 15th of a second, and pan with them. So the panning technique, where you flow with them. So squeeze the shutter rather than press it, so you don't jolt the camera, you just squeeze it down. It should give you a nice effect. So try that. Then, when you're pleased with your results, why don't you post them in the comment section and we'll all have a look. Thank you very much for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed some of the pictures that have been playing while I've been talking, and good luck with your photography.